And good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. Hello to you all. This is Cosmic Connections, and I'm Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56 with the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. And we survived, friends. We survived Tuesday with the big full moon and the shifting of Saturn into the sign of Pisces. We're going to be talking about that tonight. And I have a lot of interesting things to say about this ingress. If you are on the Cosmic Intelligence Agency platform, please look at some of the materials that we've been sharing, me and the other agents, especially Lynn Bell's wonderful talk on the big shifts this upcoming month. And if you are on other platforms, check out the CIA. If you're on the CIA, check out my website, whatever you'd like to do. But we are really in this new era, the first of two major changes in March. I had lunch with some friends today, and they said, "Oh my gosh, March is just speeding by." Yeah, I agree with that. That's a question for you this evening, this afternoon, this morning, wherever you may be. Does time seem to be moving faster than normal? And perhaps it's because none of the major planets are retrograde right now. That's fairly unusual. People, retrograde's got a bad rap, right? But most of the time, some of the larger outer planets are retrograde. And of course, Mercury is retrograde 3 times a year, and we're not in the Mercury retrograde right now. But when we have the retrograde, we tend to be a little bit more reflective. So right now, I'm experiencing time speeding up a bit. So that's a question for you. Another question for you this evening. I'm going to dovetail to the evening here in Western New York. Did you find any revelation in the past 24 hours? Did you find any insight, any downloads, any new information? Could be anything. Could be information about what your heart is directing you towards. It could be information about a partner. It could be information about the world. It could be information about a job. Take your pick. Did you get any sort of revelation with the full moon? Because the full moon is seen in the dark. And so that's our bit of introduction. Hi, Marianne, Nancy, Rose. Thank you for sharing, dear Rose. Good evening. Thank you all for sharing. I always like to encourage you, if you are so inclined, to share when we are in real time here. And your name goes in our little basket. Oh, you're welcome, Jojo. Happy birthday, dear Pisces. We have a lot of Pisces people in the room. Hi, Bethany. Good to see you, Joanne. Good to see you, Nancy and Patricia and Paula and Janet and Sherry and Joni and Linda and Sheila. Good evening from Idaho, Gwendolyn. Hello. And let us know where you're coming in from. Okay, it's always nice to know. Time is relative. Exactly. Sometimes slower, sometimes faster. That's science. Prepare for hard times. Prices are going up. That is finance. Yes. I can't really argue with you in that at all. Kathleen, good evening. Your dreams have been vivid. Lisa Marie, you want to take notes of those dreams. I love dreams. Because they are your unconscious, your subconscious, maybe sometimes spirit speaking to us, right? So we can't lie with our dreams. Okay, Linda, you did figure out some. I'm sorry to hear that, but truth will set us free. Diane, good evening. Hi there from Wisconsin, Mary. Hi, Mary T from Buffalo. Hey, Jay. Hello, Ryan. Nice to see you. Sarah, Roslyn, good evening. Hi, hello from Florida. Boy, a lot of folks are coming in all from all over, dreaming a lot. Yeah, that's another thing that we may have experiencing during the Pisces cycle is dreaming more. Remember, Pisces is about dreams. We're going to talk about that relative to Saturn's ingress into the sign of Pisces. So on our agenda tonight are 3 things. We're going to talk about the full moon a bit. We're going to talk about Saturn ingress, and we're going to talk about a wonderful astrological event that happens on Saturday that we want to be aware of for our healing. Because I believe that this whole week is about healing. And with that healing comes truth, right? And that's really accentuated by the full moon. Let's see if I can do this. Let me put the slides up. And big hugs to you all for joining in. This is called the Saturn shift plus the full moon. So the full moon on the 7th is 7:48 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. We always look at the Sabian symbol, which is a volcanic explosion. No worries, right? Volcanic explosions just change the landscape a little bit. And the lava cools, right? We might have an explosion, a revelation, some aha experience, but then things calm down and the lava cools down and the landscape is changed. So the moon was in Virgo and it was squaring Mars. And then Mars was squaring Neptune. Let's make it easy peasy, shall we? In Astrology 101. When planets are making a square, it's a 90 degree. And we have, let's see it on our screen here. We have the moon squaring or forming this angle of 90 degrees to Mars. You can see that, right? And then Mars is squaring Neptune. That's called a T-square, friends. So T-square is when you have 3 planets involved, 2 are squaring a 3rd planet. Then we have, this gets a little technical, we have an empty leg. So the opposite of Gemini is Sagittarius. So this full moon may be shaking up all of what we call the mutable signs. Those are Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, and Sagittarius. And if you're not that sun sign, no worry. The Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, and Sagittarius parts of your chart were being activated by this full moon in a sort of tense, I need to release the pressure type of way. So how do we release the pressure? We go to where Sagittarius falls. Sagittarius, approximately 15 to 20 degrees of Sagittarius. So what that means is we dissect the meaning of Sag. Sagittarius is truth, freedom, commerce, philosophy. So the truth of the matter seems to be percolating up with this full moon. The truth of the matter in your own life. I never kiss and tell, of course, but let's just put it this way. One of my dear clients had a revelation this week that someone she had been interested in was indeed a serial cheater. And that just came out in the full moon. And she needed to know this information. She was praying on it, and that was revealed to her. So that's like an explosion, right? It's an emotional explosion, but the truth was revealed. Sometimes we don't want to know the truth, but this is a good truther. I love the expression. That's apolitical, please. Sagittarius is apolitical. Full moon. All right, so the empty leg, Sagittarius, is where you want to go to find a sense of peace or awareness for us all. And all of us, friends, are operating on a higher level as well, a higher frequency with this full moon. What frequency might that be? Intuition, psychic awareness. Because Psyche, the actual asteroid in the sky, is opposite Neptune, which represents the unconscious. So please, if you've been getting some psychic hits, and we are all psychic, really, truly, trust them. Your intuition is on fire. My intuition is on fire, especially, and there is, let me show you, there is little Psyche. She looks like an X, and there's our little Neptune. All right. Right there. She's a trine right there, right? And then also Psyche's opposite Uranus. So we've got this trine and this opposition. So we might be getting these revelations. We also have Hygeia, the asteroid Hygeia is opposite Black Moon Lilith. So Black Moon Lilith is the keeper of secrets. She plays on the fringe. She plays outside of the garden. And so Hygeia is about health. So we may know some information relative to health, your health, public health, with this full moon. And then we had a little square action. Remember, Mars is anger, right? What does Sagittarius rule? Travel, Look, this is not the biggest story in the past couple of days, but it is a little unusual, right? There was a fight, a wild fight, a brawl on Southwest Flight after a passenger bumped into a mother, and then all chaos ensued. It was pretty scary if you've ever flown. So Sagittarius is the sign of travel. So we had a little square action, a little anger associated with this full moon. On the other hand, we're talking about health, the ongoing narrative of what really happened to the world in the past 3 years. Well, this came out a little before the full moon, but it's still extraordinarily important. You all know what the Lancet is, right? The Lancet is one of the most highly regarded medical journals in the world, and they have come out saying that natural immunity is found to be as effective as those CVVs. See, I'm still a little paranoid about the bots. So CVVs are as effective as natural immunity. And that's perhaps a point of contention, but when the Lancet is highly regarded. So that's coming out, and that's also coinciding with a lot of removal of a lot of the mandates. I know that in New York State, there's a call to hire back many of the health workers who lost their positions and reimburse them with back pay. So we'll see how that comes to pass legally. All right, so we have all that from the full moon. And remember what the full moon was in. Virgo. Virgo rules health care, self-care, natural care, our eating, sleeping, our nutrition. Those are the realms of Virgo. If you see someone's chart with a whole lot of Virgo in them, you can betcha that they know about the human body. Virgo just naturally is attracted to health. And then Pisces, the opposite sign, which is being activated by Saturn now, is the sign I call of emotional spiritual health. They are polarized within our charts. So to have a good positive attitude when you have a serious illness, you can talk, this is no fluff. You can talk to any doctor. They'll say your chances of recovery is much higher than if you're negative Nelly, right? No offense to Nelly. All right. So Pisces and Virgo are all about healing. So Pisces is where the sun is, and Pisces, my dear friends, is what's going to be activated for the next 3 years because the big ingress happened. Ingress is a fancy word that says the planet moved into a new sign. So the sign it moved into, Pisces, happened an hour after the full moon. So what that means for us, and this very, very important, it's in Pisces until February of 2026. And as it goes through Pisces, all things Piscean become more structured and more grounded. What's Piscean? Intuition, imagination, sensitivity, psychic awareness, compassion, kindness, God's heart. These are all Pisces words. The oneness. You can't hurt someone if you feel that by hurting them, you're hurting a part of yourself. Pisces really is the most compassionate energy. All signs are compassionate, but the Pisces way of being compassionate is all about that we're one because we share the same elemental features of water. Right? Pisces rules the oceans. It rules water, the element water, which is the great dissolver. So now that Saturn is moving through Pisces until 2026, we are going to ground and center and stabilize those areas of our life that are nebulous. I have, and I will be doing a lot of classes on this, as many astrologers will be over the course of the next couple of years, because I just love Saturn. And please, take a look at the CIA's offerings on Saturn and Pisces, whether they be written or me and Julia were talking about Saturn and Pisces a couple nights ago. Please look it over and just reflect and welcome the Saturnian energy. Saturn in the old astrologers' textbook was called the Great Malefic, the great bad guy. But without Saturn, you have no manifestation. Saturn rules this world. The Saturn energy is gravity and form and shape and structure and authority. So we're becoming into this realm where we're having more authority about the things that are of spirit. So all of you lovely spiritualists, psychics, mediums, and healers, you have a great run in the next 2.5 years. You're going to get some respect because Saturn is about respect. That would be my read on this. Okay, so Saturn is trining the South Node. That's its first aspect it's making. South Node is the past. Let's cut the corners, friends. Not cut the corners. Let's cut the ties to things we no longer want, attitudes and people and situations that no longer serve us. We're saying goodbye to the old, welcoming the new, and having the authority and confidence in our own spirit. We can trust our own intuition in the next 2.5 years. You know, you don't have to have the guy on the top of the pyramid telling you what to do and how to do it. Those days are over. Saturn has left Aquarius. Saturn loves Aquarius and it loves Capricorn, which it had been in the past 6 years. But now that it's going into Pisces, we give spirit a chance. We give our spiritual nature. Well, are we prone to delusion? Or are we prone to maybe, standing up for the God of our understanding as the only God? Well, yeah, there's a little wool in the template a little bit, but nevertheless, this is the time to stand true to your own spiritual beliefs and your own spiritual motivation and your imagination and grounding those things you've been thinking about doing for the past 30 years, because this next 3 years is similar to 94, late 94, 95, and 96. Were you around back then? Do you have any remembrances about 95, 96, 30-ish years ago? Perhaps you remember 64, 66. So every 30 years, we carve out this generation and this grounding of spirit, grounding of idealism. Why were the 60s the 60s? Because people realize that people are the same underneath the structure, underneath the skin. They bleed the same color, right? We had the civil rights movement. We had the women's rights movement. We had the workers' rights movement back in the 60s and a little bit in the early 90s. And now we're going through that same type of climate. Interesting, right? So Saturn in Pisces is about healing our spirit. And I love this phrase, the part of you that accepts challenge to gain wisdom. Don't be afraid of Saturn. Saturn's here to be the great teacher. All righty. Speaking of healing, let's take a look at the past 5 years and where is Aries in your chart. Because on Saturday, we have Jupiter, we've got Chiron, and we have Vesta all lined up in a very tight orb at 14 degrees of Aries. Translation is Jupiter's big, Vesta is spiritual and practices, and Chiron is our woundedness. So by using reflection tools of spirituality, maybe dream work, journal work, therapy work, we can help identify our deepest wound to clear it out. I call it clearing out the narcissistic wound, the part of us that sometimes feels guilty about being who you are or who I am. Don't feel guilty about it, but don't implode your self on another. The only old expression of rights, my rights end at your nose. So that's what's going on, friends, on Saturday. It actually occurs around 11:59, like late on Saturday, but I'm going to be doing a little meditation at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. If you're around, join me with a live meditation, and we'll really do a guided journey to see where that wound within ourselves. If you can make it, fabulous. If not, try to identify where that 14 degrees of Aries falls. And by the way, 14 Aries is this wonderful Sabian symbol, which represents, here's the quote, an Indian is weaving a ceremonial rug, again, using 1928 language, or Native American, Native American, and Indian is beautifully crafting a ceremonial rug. And the idea that each thread, and the representation of this, by the way, according to Rudyard, is cosmic consciousness, that we're all a part of that wonderful rug. We're all a part of the landscape of ceremony and of magic and of joy and of spirit. So when we identify where that 14 degrees of Aries is, really celebrate it. If you are a weaver, my goodness, take out your weaver or knitting or embroidering, whatever, but just reflect on what it would be like to review the past 5 years of hurt, especially the past 5 years, relative to where Aries falls in your chart, and soothe yourself. Maybe use a little prayer rug or a shawl, a prayer shawl, and do a little meditation on Saturday. That would be a great thing. In fact, I'll bring a shawl during the meditation. Yeah, I'll do that. So we want to meditate and heal ourselves, not being ashamed of who you are, but keeping the boundaries up. Thank you, Mr. Saturn. Also, our psychic meters are enhanced because we have that trine continuing. Neptune is trying Psyche, and the moon is opposite Uranus. So we're going to get some breakthroughs on Saturday. All righty. So I hope that all made sense. So looks like some people are talking about their dream journals. Fantastic. I'm glad you're dreaming a lot. Welcome all of you to the Cosmic Connections. Nikki, happy birthday. All right, from Montreal. Again, when I do the readings, they're all random, honey. Let's hope you come to me. You can also just give me a call and I'll give you a reading. That'd be fine. Hi, hoping to get a message from the person who don't believe in me. That would mean I wouldn't get a message from. I was hoping to get a message from this person, but if they didn't believe in mediums, would that mean I would? No, that's a great question, Christy. Christy asks, if someone who's passed away who didn't believe in mediums, would you not get a message from them? Here's the honest God truth. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's dependent on that. If someone on the other side of life is wanting to communicate with you, if they made a mistake in thinking, and when they were alive in their bodies, that this doesn't work, they might be changing their minds. Our loved ones are always, always connecting with us. Bethany's Kate, good to see you. Very intense time for Mary T. The point, what I'm trying to say, friends, is that I don't know all the answers. I don't think anyone knows all the answers, because I know I haven't always been in this physical body. I've been a spirit at some point, at some place. But the bottom line is, doing mediumship, I know what I firsthand experience when I'm doing my work. And many of you are mediums in this room. And even if you're not a medium, a trained medium, gone through Lilydale or Fellowships of the Spirit or other wonderful programs, you and me throughout human history have had experiences and opportunities to connect with our spirit loved ones. This is not odd. It's very common. It's just that it's been coming out of the closet, out of the spiritual closet, especially since 2012. And the reason for that is because Neptune, which is the planet that represents all things spiritual, ingressed into the sign of Pisces in 2012. So those of you who have been in the spiritual realm or, just learning and exploring, you might remember 2012. It was on everyone's short list, right? The world's going to end, right? The Mayan calendar, remember that? It was like this big apocalyptic hoopla that, oh my gosh, the world's going to end. Well, the world is continuing to evolve and change, and you could say all of our lives are a series of endings and new beginnings. But at that time frame, it was when Neptune went into Pisces. And that also happened in the late 19th century with the advent of the religion of spiritualism, the modern spiritualism at Lilydale. Isn't that interesting? So there's these bigger cycles. And now we're having another big cycle. Saturn's going into Pisces. And oh my goodness, circle the date, March 23rd. I love astrologer Michael Luton. He said, and on one of his posts, he said recently, really caught my ear and my eye. He said, if there's something you've been meaning to say to someone, try to say it before Pluto goes into Aquarius, because that's a real big boom. That's a real boom, because Pluto is starting a cycle for 20 years, and Pluto is the power planet. So Pluto going into Aquarius, which is all of us, the people. Well, I'll be talking more about that as time goes on. If you want to experience some Pluto and Aquarius information, please come to my retreat on April 1st. We'll also be talking about the very powerful eclipses in April 20th and May 5th. And we'll be doing some experiential things and healing things. And speaking of healing, if you want to become a Reiki hands-on healer, on the 18th of March during Pisces, as Saturn's moved into Pisces, I'll be offering a certified class in Reiki healing under the light of Saturn's Pisces ingress. So all that material is on my website, CassandraJoanButler.com. Okay. Yes. All right, Rhonda. Yes. Interesting. Cynthia took her first Reiki master's class in 2012. No coincidence there. I love it. Virgil, my dear, you know you have a Pisces moon, don't you? He's a sweetheart for many years. Great to see you, honey. Great to see you. Okay, your birthday's on the 9th. Oh, look at all these Pisces people. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yes, Carrie Ann. Hello, darling. Angie. Okay, you're a Capricorn Sag rising. Okay. So I do not say I'm going to do this. I want to do this. See any prosperity where I can do this. So Candy, what you could do is keep on visualizing and look at the different mutable times of the year, right? If it's not now, it might be June. If it's not June, it might be September. If it's not September, it might be Sagittarius. That would be a quick little answer for you. All right, friend, take a look at where this beautiful Saturn is falling in your chart, where you're shoring up and you're strengthening up your Pisces for the next 2.5 years. That launches a 30-year cycle. So find where Pisces falls in your chart, okay? If you're an Aries or Aries rising, this Pisces energy is in your 12th house. So you're really going to be shoring up your spirituality, your spiritual practices, your compassion, your ability to forgive others. That's for our Aries friends. If you're Taurus, you're going to be tightening up your friendship circle. You'll be saying, these are my friends, these are my contacts, but they're not necessarily my besties. All right. So Taurus is about friends, it's about groups, it's about associations. Start your own group, Taurus. The next 2 years, start your own spiritual group or cooking class. I don't care, but just really make something for yourself with the socialization. For Geminis or Gemini rising, this ingress of Saturn and Pisces is activating your work, your career, your leadership. You've been dreaming about doing something for a long time, Gemini. Now is the next 2.5 years to implement that, to make it work. If you're Cancer or Cancer rising, you've been dreaming about that forever trip or getting that extra education the next 2 years, just do it. Saturn's a just do it type of planet. But of course, Saturn works things slowly. He's a tortoise. He gives you consideration. He's not like Mars. Mars is just impulsive and quick, but Saturn takes its time. So if you're a Cancer or Cancer rising, get the education, plan that special trip, that long trip you've been wanting to do. Leo or Leo rising, get inside your internal power, Leo. Trust your internal power, your psychological power, your emotional power, your spiritual power, your psychological power. Be aware that you have power and that you can also do things, Leo, with your management of resources, right? It's a money area of the chart as well, becoming more secure within that. For Virgo or Virgo rising, it's all about your partner. And maybe you've been wanting to make a commitment to your partner. This is the next 3 years you can do that. If you're partnerless, if you're wanting a partner, single and searching, it's a great time to find that special person for you, Virgo. You Libras or Libra risings, get real serious and get really disciplined about your health, right? Oh, yeah, I'm a great exerciser, but I haven't exercised for 5 years. Okay. I'm kind of almost speaking about myself, but get yourself to the gym, Libra. Get yourself to the gym and be committed. It'll be easier to be disciplined. See, that's the thing with Saturn. If you've effort in, Saturn carries the weight. Saturn wants to do whatever you want to do. It's a It's a locomotive train that gets you moving. Scorpio, it's all about your creativity. It's about fun. It's about romance. It's about your children. It's about taking those ideas that you've been simmering for so long, Scorpio, and saying, oh, time to put them down and make a masterpiece, make the perfect pie, make the perfect painting, the perfect book. If you're Sagittarius, the Saturn ingress is helping you clean things up in your home, clear out the clutter and clear out the negativity, and maybe move, maybe remodel, become closer with your family members. That's the imperative there, Saggy. For Capricorn or Capricorn rising, it's all about ways to think better. And you're thinking better because you're talking to yourself with more respect. Get rid of the critical judgment. You're so good at that, Capricorn. This next couple of years, you'll be able to tone that down and talk yourself into positivity and accomplish goals in a new way. For Aquarius, it's all about the finances. You're attracting more bounty, attracting more prosperity, doing what it takes to become comfortable financially, whatever that is defined by you. For you beautiful Pisces, oh my gosh, you've been waiting for this time for 30 years. So I don't know, Pisces, it's your time to shine, to be an authority in your life and to button down the hatches and to contract and put boundaries up and just say no if you need to say just no. Okay, so it's a great couple of years for the Pisces, a time of achievement and identifying themselves and accomplishing things. For all you beautiful people who are so kind to share this when I'm in mid-sentence, I do a little sharing, and the sharing is the Lunar Lights Club material. So the winner this week is Chastity Nicholson. I'm not sure if you're here tonight, sweetheart, but you're the winner tonight. So I have your email, so that's easy, Chastity. I think I may have I have your birthday. I'll send that all out to you. All right, great to see you all. So thank you for being here. And let's take a sip of water. Let's do some. Let us do some messages. I might be talking slower, right? Because I get all excited when I'm teaching the astrology. But when I'm connecting with spirit, it's a different type of frequency. And I literally have learned through fellowships of the spirit, through all the many classes at Lilydale, little techniques. And if you friends are interested in learning little techniques on how to open your mediumship with Saturn, please join me. I'm doing spiritual gifts in Saturn and Pisces. Just go to my website and you can register, and we'll be doing some spiritual exercises. All right. So I'm going to close my eyes, say my prayer, and just let me know if you want a message. So, dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words be filled with love and light and truth, inspiration and healing. Highest and best as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. Amen. And I came to Rhonda Burns. I didn't come to you because you gave me a compliment. I just saw that. Welcome, Rhonda. You're such a faithful listener. Thank you. Rhonda, honey, as I'm tuning into your energy tonight, I'm seeing, I want to say that they're vertical striped draperies and they're multicolored. It's almost like a bathtub, a shower curtain. But they're vertical and they're multicolored. There's all these lines, and like you're opening up the veil and you're going through them. I think this is an esoteric symbolic picture that I'm getting for you, but you're going through an opening through the veil. Or literally, you might be putting up new shower curtains or some drapes. I'm not sure. All right, a little bit more information, please. What this is indicating for you is that you have been perceiving things beneath the veil. And I mean this esoterically, maybe in levels of theosophy, occult studies, that you're going through the wormhole or through the rabbit hole. And some of the stuff that you're studying or discovering is a little unnerving. And the message from Spirit, Rhonda, is that you are protected because you're coming at your, I want to say the word research, with a terrific sense of protection about you, that you have your prayerful life, your angels, your saints, your guides, whomever that are protecting you as you're doing some deep diving. Does this make sense? Please let me know. All right. So as I'm also going in a little further with this, there's a part of you that feels when I'm learning all this information, and some of it's ugly. All right. Some of it's ugly. Some of it's about abuse and not about to you, but just in general on this planet. There's a sense that it's kind of repulsive and you want to step back from this, Rhonda. But as you are doing this deep dive, please know you're doing this not to necessarily disseminate the information to other people, but to keep yourself as an agent of light. And I mean this very sincerely, because I think all of us energetically are like huge stones that when we think fearful thoughts, those ripple outward. And when we think loving, positive thoughts, those ripple outward. I think that in so many ways, we've all been in a collective experience, talking about the CV, of course, of trying to manage nonstop assaults on our senses to deeply go into despair and fear. Does that make sense? And so we are now after that couple of year period, 3-year period, and we're like it or not, the heavens are opening up this month. All right. Like I said in the astrology, Black Moon Lilith is going to be opposite Pluto. And it's been opening us up to, there are lousy situations on this planet, worse than lousy. And you've been doing some deep dives in this, Rhonda, and there's a little frightening energy. But every time, this goes for everybody, I guess, every time we find something that's repulsive, we just have to turn up our light a little louder, a little brighter, and a little bit more succinctly by being more kind and more compassionate to other people. Because we're at a pivotal point. With this Pluto going into Aquarius, the power is being turned over to all of us. Not me, not you, all of us, the collective. I'm going off on different tangents with you, Rhonda, but this is big. Whatever you're doing, Rhonda, does this make sense to you, honey? You're saying, wow, whoa. Oh, you just looked on Psalm 91 for protection. Oh, how interesting. Very nice. Okay. All right. I love that. I love that. Okay. Woo. All right. Pisces. You're a Pisces rising, Rhonda. Let me tell you something about Pisces rising people. You are called the psychic sponges. But honey, you already know that. You walk into a room, you know exactly who was aggravated with who 20 years ago in that room. You just pick up frequencies all the time. But what I'm saying about you and the frequencies that you are developing is sometimes they're conscious and sometimes they're not. I love that you got Psalm 91 in your pocket. And please, friends, turn to your holy books. My holy book happens to be a Bible. Whatever your holy book is, flood your mind with the Psalms, with holy mantras, because the more we expel our light, the darkness goes away. That's what I have for you today, Rhonda. A little different type of reading. Wow. Whew. God bless you, honey. One more here. Okay. I have Susie DK. Susie DK. Hello, Susie. I'd like to give you a reading. My finger came to you. So, Sue, I happen to know Sue, but I'm just going to go into that right brain mode. I want to go into with your health, Sue, that your spirit is saying that you're doing all these wonderful research for your health and trying to strengthen your immunity and so forth. But going back to basics, I'm getting herbs. I'm getting, as we have, Northern Hemisphere, when we have an herb garden, I'm getting herbs for you. that are going to help strengthen your immunity, especially the lungs. And I see you exploring and experimenting with the frequencies of your herbs and also your skulls and your stones. Susie's a stone person. She's a crystal healer. So as we move forward in 2023, Sue, you're going to be integrating so much of your wisdom and knowledge. And I feel you're going to be doing stuff online. You might be doing some workshops in front of the world and sharing a lot of your information, a lot of your wisdom with others. And there's a part of you that's saying, I'm not ready, but you've been ready for years. It's just that your humility is keeping you. And look where Pisces falls in your chart, Sue, because that's strengthening up your reserve and your resolve to share psychic, spiritual healing energy with others. You're a magnificent healer, but I also am getting the herbs in here too. I don't know if you do herbs, but you might be, exploring with those, and the crystals. One of your teachers is coming through right now for you, Sue. He's got a cap. He's a male. He's got his hair is long, but he wears it back like maybe a ponytail or a braid, and he's got a very kind of distinctive voice like this, and he's extraordinarily articulate, Oof. And what he's saying to you is that it's your time to shine, and talk to him, that he gives you a lot of insight and wisdom in your dreams, and you might even start doing more of a dream journal, Sue. I'm also getting a very high-pitched voiced woman with you, and I believe this is a very petite great aunt. I don't think this is a great grandmother. I think it's a great aunt who loved gardening in particular. So you've got some gardeners in your DNA that are coming through and giving you a big hug. So I'll leave that with God's blessings, Miss Sue. All right. Oh, interesting. You know who this person is? Really? You used to lecture on herbs at the Buffalo Museum's Good Earth Festival. I didn't know that. They know that. I love it. I love when spirit gives validation. So now I'm not going to be all wide awake and bushy-tailed until whenever, but I got to get some sleep because tomorrow's a new day with new clients and new fun things to do, and a new class to share with you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Please be around, friends. 12 noon on Saturday for the healing meditation with the big conjunction of Chiron, Vesta, and Jupiter. You can see Jupiter out right now. Jupiter is out there shining its gorgeous light. Santa Claus is coming in to say hello to all of us where you find Jupiter in your chart. Pisces, friends. And, of course, Aries. Pisces, Aries energy. God bless you all. Thank you for being here tonight. I really appreciate the feedback. I felt your energy stronger tonight, and that makes me a little bit more frisky too. Okay, so we'll see you next Wednesday at 8:30, and have a great full moon revelation. Bye-bye.